Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker. This is my faithful sidekick, Pippin. Pippin has been a very silly boy all day. Yes, he has. Go this way. He keeps knocking things off my desk today. So anyway, as the title suggests down below, I am doing a very quick wrap-up of my Leither Leither collection box subscription. Please go back and look at videos 1, 2, and 3 if you want the total price breakdown of each individual box, the assigned amounts that I gave to each item, etc., and so forth. This is literally just to recap all 3 boxes. What was my total savings based on, in the case of this box, as everything is a local yarn store quality of product, what would this cost me at my local yarn store? So, gotta, all right, that's box 3. I know what that is. All right, so box 1, what I got out of that was a mug cozy that I still have not sewn the button on, which I think is very, very nice. I got a set of little fingerless mitts. Now, I still have not decided if I'm going to come back and do a camel stitch or a rib stitch on the bottom of these. But that's what I have left over, so I have more than enough to do that. I've got my hook for the month, which coordinates to the yarn. The button for the mug cozy. And my stitch marker stuck in my label. My stitch marker. So that was box 1. I did both patterns that came in the box and still had leftovers, which I love having leftovers. Actually, was this DK weight or was this fingering weight? Sport weight. I was thinking if it was a little bit closer down to fingering, if there's 20 grams left over, I might throw that in my personal advent calendar. So it was box 1. Forgot to stick my hook over there. Box 2 was this absolutely gorgeous green. We did get an update on the new pricing of the box. There was a pair of boot cuffs and a hat pattern for this month. Sorry about that, you guys. I still haven't attached my pom-pom. However, I did just realize I have white and brown ones instead of brown, the tonal browns. I might put the white one on here. But that is the beanie hat that I made. It is incredibly soft and squishy. I really like it. I really didn't mind how the hat crown was a different pattern than the body of the hat, and I'm not sure why. I think it's because the yarn, between the tonal variation and the tweed in the yarn, it's not a hyper obvious change in the stitch. And I think that might be what did it. I didn't even think about it until somebody else had, I think it was Crystal over at Chronically Crocheting mentioned that. And I was like, actually, I didn't notice it when it was finished, and I couldn't think of why. Very, very beautiful angel stitch marker. And this was a superwash merino, blah, 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 blah. DK tweed, sorry. The hook to match, which I did really like working with this hook. I went back and forth on the hooks as to how they felt in my hand. If that's the style hook you like, it's a beautiful hook. She's moved to using the clover hooks in her wooden handles. So we all know my obsession with the Clover Amore hook head. So you can guess how well that went over with me. I absolutely adored it, obviously. Yeah, you smacked the rack, didn't you? That's what y'all get. I have a cart sitting over there with my die cutting stuff on it. And there's like the little pegs you see at like the stores and stuff on pegboard. One of the cats just slapped that with their hand because they're being stupid. All right, so my third month with Leither, we got this absolutely gorgeous yarn. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. Gray is my like all-time favorite neutral, and I love blue, so it worked beautifully for me. So I got the hook. And the stitch marker for this month. And what I did with my yarn, our patterns were leg warmers or crocheted socks, which I'm not a fan of the texture of crocheted socks. I wanted to stay true to the crochet nature of this box and not knit socks out of it. So I actually used the watercress cowl pattern, and that is by Fiberflux. Yes, by Fiberflux. I have not attached a button yet. The one I did have set aside is a little too small for it, but the button will go in the corner up here. So you have a little bit of overlap, and it's just a decorative cowl. It's not a, I mean, you could button it a little bit tighter, make it a little bit shorter, and make it more for warmth, but that's kind of how it's going to sit on me. Actually, probably be a little bit more like that. But open at the shoulder. You can, she shows you in the tutorial video, you know, you can wear it with the button in the back. You can wear it with the button in the front, and it lays more like a collar at that point. But I thought I'd do something a little bit different because I really wanted a final product that I would actually wear out of this yarn. And can I just mention how gorgeous the color worked up in this? I mean, there's no stagnant pooling. It's got a very irregularly regular look, but not, it doesn't look hyper planned. Every time I hold these things up, it keeps throwing the balance off on my end, and I start looking like an Oompa Loompa or something. It's quite funny. It's like I'll go from being pale to orange all of a sudden. So that's what I made out of my 3 boxes. That's what was included in all 3 boxes. Every box had 2 patterns, a hook, a hank of yarn, and a stitch marker. I mean, it's a very, very easy, self-explanatory box. Like I said, check my individual videos if you want to see what my price breakdown was per video. But I came out with an overall estimated value of $193.02 for everything that was included in all 3 boxes. Which I think is actually, I mean, I know a lot of people have had issues with how I'm setting generic pricing for things. I'm not using the store's pricing or price guide on these things. This is what it would cost me if I went, this is an LYS quality box, local yarn store. If I went down to my yarn store here in Waxhaw or the one I go to in downtown Charlotte, if I went to either one of them, what would I pay for these items? And that's what I'm looking at, is what would I pay? If I went to Etsy and went to a independent dyer on Etsy, what would I be paying on average for these things? So none of my prices from this point forward are going to be based on what the retailer or seller says that these things are worth. I've been trying to come up with a very uniform way to judge these, and there are a couple boxes on my list that I know have been asked about that use more commonly available products that have a very common price. In those cases, yes, I will use the suggested retail price from the manufacturer on those things when available, but not, what does Michael's carry it for? What does Joann's carry it for? What does Hobby Lobby sell it for? What did AC Moore have it for? I will be going, because most of the big box yarns have websites and you can find the suggested retail prices right there on their website. So, um, as we get into boxes that aren't as high end, aren't LYS quality, yes, I will use manufacturing prices for those. But as far as these go, it's on average, what are you going to pay? So I did want to clear that up. So $193. The new pricing for the box is $45 a month for the boxes that include the hooks and stuff. There is also a box that's only the yarn and patterns. So if you're interested, please go to the link down below. It'll take you to her store so you can look at the subscription boxes yourself. All in all, I came up with a 30% savings on this box based on what I would end up paying at an LYS for these things, which means I had a total savings of $57.90. I would have to say that's not too bad. For me, I kind of wish I had skipped the hook just because they're not, that style handle is not very comfortable for the way I crochet, but they appear to be, as I did use them as much as possible over the last couple weeks. I will say all three of these, and I did stick one back in the box by accident, all three of these are very high quality hooks. Like I said, she's using the clover heads on them. So the hook part is a clover. You've got this very, very slick surface you're working on with that hook. You can see the shine on the wood. Obviously, it's a very, very smooth shaft to hold. It is matte on the join ends where it's joined onto the lathe when being worked. It is matte there, but I don't know if it's mineral oil they use to shine it up or what, but the sanding's impeccable on the wooden handles. Very, very smooth, very nice in the hand. It does warm up very nicely. So if you like using wood because it gets warm as you work it and helps, relieve joint pain, these are beautiful hooks if that's something you're looking for. But the way I hold and work is kind of a modified overhand, and I guide with the end of my hand. So this, depending on the hook, it worked great for me, and other ones not quite as much. So I did really, I can attest to the high quality of the hook. For me personally, I wish I'd just gone with the yarn box. I knew there was a huge chance these wouldn't work necessarily for me. I think those might go in my set aside to sell later thing, or I've got another friend who is testing out a very similar style hook. If she really likes it, I might send these on to her. But all in all, a number of you guys mentioned how depressed I seemed when I was filming my third unboxing. Yes, I was disappointed that I decided to do the adulty thing and go ahead and cancel the box, but it is beautiful, and that's why it was so hard. I really loved working with the yarns. I really loved all three colorways that I got. That blue and gray is just so dynamic. I love it. The autumnal colors are just so rich and vibrant. The green is just such a beautiful everyday color. I really loved the yarns that I received, and I felt like we got a nice contrast in the yarns with the tweeted yarn. We got DK, sport, and fingering, so we got 3 different weights. It didn't feel stagnant, whereas over the last year and a half, I had never done a subscription box until I started my channel. And one of the reasons I started my channel was because I wanted to be able to give honest reviews about things like these subscription boxes, yarns as they come on the market, give you guys information that sometimes is lacking in our knowledge base. A lot of subscription people who unbox the subscription boxes don't actually work with them. So you never know where the value is. Is it just in the yarn, or is it different. And I've tried to address that as I've gone further with it and started more developing a way to look at these things and break them down for you. I am trying to make those things very clear in my videos. For me, I would say if you get the yarn box, it's worth it. Since the prices have gone up, it's not just the hook where she changed to the Clover Amore. She's also going to start doing a video tutorial that is a companion to the written patterns that you print out yourself. I like the fact that you have the option to print it or just download it. It saves on paper, which I think is fantastic. But the yarn in the yarn box obviously is what you're paying for, and it's gone up, I think it's to $19. I've got the card that tells me. Why not just pull it out and tell you correctly the first time? The yarn box will be $23 a month. Your average hank of yarn like that is $25, so you're getting a hank of yarn and 2 patterns for free. You're paying for the yarn, but you're getting 2 patterns for free. And the patterns, like I said, they ranged anywhere from like $2 to $6, depending on what they were. So you, once again, have a couple more dollars in there. I really like the yarn. If I saw this at my local yarn store, I would totally gravitate towards it and buy it. If I purchased it from an Etsy seller and this is what I received, I'd be perfectly happy having paid my money for it. So, this box is definitely one of those. You're getting it for either the yarn or the yarn in the hook. The patterns are a bonus. In the 3 months that I had the subscription box, I didn't see anything that would alert me to more than maybe that's not your personal favorite colorway. The quality was great. I had no knots in all 3 hanks of my yarn. Like I said, wherever she buys her blank yarn from, I would love to know, because like this one was super squishy. This is the DK Tweed. That was super duper squishy. The sock wet yarn, the blue and gray, was very satiny in its finish. Some large mammal just walked by my window in here. You can tell the clouds just broke up and all of a sudden I have natural light beaming in on this side. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to sit here and ramble on. I was very sad about canceling my subscription because I really do like this product. But I need to keep my budget open to try new boxes. So in the next, I think it's actually shipped now. In the next week, hopefully we will have our next Mountain Meadow wool box. We should have our new review box for monthly boxes, which will be the Alpaca Direct box. I hope you guys found some information in my random rambling ons today. Trying to not totally rip off Randy's channel. I am kind of a babbler. Even though I have notes clearly right here in front of me telling me what to say, I still tend to babble quite a bit. But all in all, if you're considering this, I would definitely say the balance is not bad on these boxes. If you're interested in the hook, I think you're going to get the better deal across the board with the boxes that include the hooks. But those are, I mean, like I said, they're $45 a month. It's not cheap. It is an expensive box. But the quality of the hook and the yarn were both fantastic. So across the board, all 3 months, I was pleased with what I received. I don't think that the price for what I'm getting is that far off. I was happy. And like I said, based on my estimated pricing, I mean, a 30% savings really wasn't that bad for everything all included. As with any subscription box, there are going to be months where you love the patterns, months where you kind of feel, which is another reason why I made the adult choice because I would just turn into a collector of the yarn. I mean, let's be honest, I obviously collect it. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And in the case of this company, I would definitely just collect the yarn and wait for inspiration to strike to use it. When I'm not on my yarn ban, I might go back to her store. That she does sell things individually as well. And I might go back to her store to order some yarn next January when I can freely buy yarn again. Anyway, I've already taken way too much of your time today, but I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend so far, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye, guys.